Just want to get on the payroll.
WB5DRI KG5PT.
KG5PTE, good morning, or afternoon, I guess.
Pretty good, Chief. Just want to get a signal report from you. You're a solid S9 here. Just a good deal. Just wanted to say hello and good afternoon, Chief.
Roger that. Yeah, you're over 9 here. You're about 10 over. WW5ENT.
Roger that. KG5PT, standing by for net.
Running into W5OG, WW5ENT. Okay, Mike, real good. You got a good signal now. Everybody's so far on their frequency. Pretty good. All right.
W5OG, KG5PT.
Yeah, good evening, James. KG5PTE at W5OG. Go ahead.
I barely got a copy on you, Dale. I don't know. I just got a real booming signal here from Mike, but I can barely hear you. Over.
Yeah, I can't hear you locally, but I can hear you on the Utah SDR number 4. You're quite strong on that SDR, James. And also, Mike, I'm not doing anything with net logging. I did check in, but that's it. W5OG.
Roger that, I know, that's why I called you. Yeah, okay, I got it. WW5ENT.
Yeah, I didn't do anything at W5OG. And also, Tom is in there, KA4YES. Good evening, Tom, W5OG.
Good evening, Junction, loud and clear, WA6L Cheerio. KQ4, HJN, standing by.
I got to use the SDR. I can't hear anybody direct. There's some local noise that's just incredibly loud. I don't know if it's my own hot cell or someone else's LED light. Anyway, it's all right. I'm standing by for that. KB7 allocate.
KQ4, HJN, standing by.
KQ4, HJN, WW5ENT. Got you on the list.
Roger, thank you.
9 and 10 on my end still show double, Mike. WX7 Lima Lima's in there twice. You're an S9 with me, Tom. I think Brian's about ready to start the net. Anyway, we got you on the list. W5OG.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Good evening, everybody. This is WB5DRI Brian down here in San Antonio. I want to welcome all stations to the Tuesday night edition of the Air Force's Flyers Club Net. This net meets basically close to this frequency, around 7210 every Tuesday night. And tonight we moved up here due to some QRM on 7208. Anyway, It's good to be here tonight, and I want to welcome all stations to the net. The Flyers Club does consist of military aviation members, both active and retired, and veterans of all the military services, to include pilots, air crew, ground crew, air traffic controllers, missile crews, support crews, and anyone involved with military aviation from all of the air branches of all of our military services. We also very much like to welcome visitors to the net, and you don't have to be involved with the military or aviation in order to check in. Our purpose is to promote fellowship between those radio owners who devote a portion of their lives to support our air forces. This is a control net. To contact net control, we like to use the words contact, relay, check-in, or info. We also have a very good website at Air Forces, plural, Flyers, plural, club.org. That's Air Forces, FlyersClub.org, which has a lot of good information about our net, about our members, and also an application to join if you would like to and feel qualified. Again, it's not necessary in order to check in. My call sign is Whiskey Bravo 5 Delta Romeo India. My name is Brian, and I'm located down here in San Antonio, Texas, in the Alamo City in south central Texas. Our format for this now is we take check-ins and we go down the list, allowing each station to give their reports, and then we go back for a second 73 round if there's time. And we have, on Tuesday nights, we usually have plenty of time and a smaller number of check-ins, but usually a pretty good group here. So we'll go ahead and get started. I do have the following stations tonight. On the list, I have N5NIR, Paul, from here in Texas. I have WA6LJS, John out in Hamul, and Paul and John are both short-timers, so we've got them at the top of the list. Then I have W5PIX, Mobile, Cliff. He's next on the list there. He's up in the DFW area tonight with his truck, and so we've got him up at the top as well. Then I have Chief Mike, WW5ENZ, up in Oklahoma, in Oklahoma City. He's helping me out with net logger tonight. Appreciate that, Mike. Then I have our commander, K1BOB, up in Boise. Then I have my older brother, Dale, W5OG, up in northeast Texas. Then I have KK6FJZ, that's Tom, out in Alabama. Then I have WX7 Lima Art in New River, Arizona. Then I have KG5PTE James up in Belton, Texas. Then I have K4YDB, that's Charlie, and he's doing a live stream of our net on YouTube. If you type in K4YDB, you can bring up that live stream on YouTube. So thanks for that, Charlie. Then I have KA4YES, that's Tom, out in Alabama. Then I have KB7LAK, that's Justin in Utah. I'm not sure how he didn't get added in there on NetLog. We need to get him on there if we can, Mike. Then I have K0VAC, that's John, up in Kansas, I believe. Then I have KQ4HJN, that is Steve down in Florida. So that's the list as I have it so far. So do we have any additional check-ins to the Air Force's Flyers Club net that I might have missed on the air check-ins? Please call now, WB5DRI. I don't hear anybody. John, can you put out a call, please, sir, before you leave? WA6LJS, WB5DRI.
I will call. WA6LJS relaying for net control to the Air Force Flyers Tuesday evening. We're looking for either members or visitors.
Okay, John, thank you. Let's get a call out from the East Coast there. Charlie, could you put out a call for us, please? K4YDB, WB5DRI.
Wilco, this is K4YDB relaying for net control. We're looking for check-ins. Check-ins to the Air Force's Flyers Club net. Members or guests, please call now. I hear nothing, Brian.
Okay, Charlie, thank you for that. Well, I want to welcome everybody to the net tonight. Very good evening to all, and I do have a question tonight. I ran across this on the internet. I thought it would make an interesting question, so we'll see how this comes out. Kind of designed it like Lee Bacon makes his questions, but let me get into it. The first question is, which of the following aircraft are certified to fly on 3 engines? And more than one answer is correct. The possible answers are Alpha, the Boeing 707, the Boeing 707, Bravo, the Lockheed LM-100J Super Hercules, Bravo, the Lockheed LM-100J Super Hercules, Charlie, the Boeing 747, Delta, well, again, Charlie is the Boeing 747. Delta is the Airbus A380. Delta is the Airbus A380. And the bonus question, what airline had an aircraft that flew on 3 engines for 5,000 miles after losing an engine about an hour out of JFK Airport in New York? The aircraft was located about 200 miles southeast of Newfoundland when the engine flamed out. And the hint to this second question is one answer in the first question is paired in the second question. So just like Lee does, it could be Alpha, Alpha, Bravo, Bravo, and so forth. And the possible airlines in the second question, as far as which airline had an aircraft that flew on 3 engines for 5,000 miles after losing an engine out of JFK, is Alpha Qantas, Bravo Korea Air, Charlie Singapore Airlines, Delta Emirates. And if you missed any of the question is on Charlie's live stream there. You can read the questions there. So let's go ahead and get started. First up tonight would be N5NIR. Paul, good evening, sir. You're up. WB5DRI.
Brian, you got a good signal coming out of San Antonio there. I'm going to go with C in Charlie. N5NIR. Back to net.
Okay, Paul, what was your answer? Charlie?
Yes, sir. C is in Charlie.
Charlie. Okay. All right, Paul. Very good. Good to have you with us tonight, and I'm glad you're able to get in here before you had to rush off to whatever net that you're also going to here tonight, I think. So good to hear you tonight, Paul. Rick, with you, let's go to John out in Hamul. I know you need to get off quickly, John. So WA6LJS, thanks for all the help tonight. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
Okay, Brian. Yeah, too bad I have to go. It sounds like a good net. Everybody's coming in really nice. Well, so far, everybody except Clifford, I could just barely hear him. But everybody's way over 9. So, but anyway, yeah, this is WA6L. To your first question, I would say the 747 could fly on 3, and also you said there's more than one answer, so go for Delta, the A380. So the first answer would be Charlie and Delta, and then because you said they're matched, I'll go with Charlie again for Singapore. So the C will be my answer. And thanks for running this line. I'll be back later on the 23rd, no problem. And have a good night. We'll catch you guys in the morning. It's going to be
Okay, John, have a very good evening there. I got your answers, Charlie, Delta, Charlie, so very good. And we'll talk to you tomorrow, possibly. Break with WA6LJS. Let's go to W5PIX Mobile there, Cliff, up near DFW. Cliff, you're up, sir. WB5DRI. Okay, Cliff, W5PIX, busy with your truck there in DFW, and very good on all that, and I'm sorry you didn't quite get all the question there, but I completely understand, and have a very good evening, and drive safe there, Cliff, but good to have you in there in the net with us tonight. Solid copy down here in San Antonio. Break with W5PIX. Let's go to Chief Mike up in near Oklahoma City. WW5ENZ. Thanks for your help tonight, Mike, on the net order. Also, WB5DRI. Your turn, sir.
Okay, WB5DRI, WW5ENZ. Yeah, I don't have my television working right now, so I didn't get the whole question, but I'm just going to go with Charlie. It's a match pair. Is that the way this one is?
Roger, except that there's two answers to the first, well, there's more than one answer to the first question. So there's only one letter on the first question that's matched to the second question, to one of the letters on the second question. Roger?
Copy that. Okay, now that's why John has a CDC. I'm going to go ahead with John, and I'll go with CDC also, okay? And I'll turn it back to you. WW5NT, back to WB5DRI.
Okay, well, real fine, Mike. I got you down for CDC then, and we'll see how that comes out. Very good. Break with you, Mike. Let's go to Dale, to my older brother up in Mineola, Texas. Dale, thanks for the help this evening, and love to you and Carolyn there. And you're up, sir. WB5DRI.
Okay, Brian, you started off the net 20 over. Very, very strong here, and now you're right at the noise. So the band has lengthened out as since we've started here on 40 meters. And the question, well, my thoughts on this are that any four-engine airplane is, it's up to the captain to decide what is safe. And if you're a two-engine airplane, you lose an engine. There's no question you land at the nearest safe airport. But now I think the captain has the prerogative to continue if he has all considerations, terrain in the vicinity. What happens if you lose another engine? You have to take all that into consideration. And essentially, it's up to the captain. But I guess that I did not realize that the Boeing 747s were actually certified to fly on three engines. I guess they are. And that would be, and maybe the other one would be the Airbus. That'd be all I know. So if there's two answers are correct, then I guess it would be Charlie and Delta. And that would be, the answer is, I don't know how that matches up because surely both of those, Singapore and Emirates, didn't do that. Lose an engine at 200 miles southeast of Newfoundland and continue on to their destination. I guess it's a possibility, but what are the odds? So I guess it's Charlie, Delta, and I'm going to say Charlie, Singapore. That'd be my guess. So is that what, I guess that's what John had, Charlie, Delta, Charlie. All right. Anyway, thank you, Brian, for doing that. I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and say 7-3 now. I've got to go in and help Carolyn clean up. We just finished dinner, so I need to help her clean up the kitchen and get things secured in there. So I'm going to go ahead and say 7-3 now. I'm back on out of here. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you, Brian, for doing the Tuesday Night Net. And regards to all. Have a good evening. Back to net. WB5DRI. Back to you, Brian, W5OG.
Okay, Dale. W5OG, WB5DRI. Well, real fine, Dale. I got your answers there. Is Charlie Delta for the first question and Charlie for the second question. So very good. And I love to Carolyn there, and 73 to you. You guys have a great evening. Break with you. Let's go to our commander, K1BOB up in Boise. Good evening, Bob. WB5DRI.
Good evening, Brian. All the flyers on the net. Pretty good conditions tonight as usual. You came in very well. And Justin, you're strong here along with John and Neil's good. Everybody's been heard. Clippers. The house was pretty late, but I guess it's good. Let's see. Well, I kind of backed in for MLB answers. I heard Singapore line. So I said maybe should it be C 727 sounds like a good idea there. And I think they're certified to shut down an engine for not but anyway, I'm in for Charlie and Delta, and I'm pretty sure Boeing's certified, which makes a difference if you lose an engine in the Mid-Atlantic, someplace like that. You don't have a choice what you're going to do. It's going to be based on getting to the nearest airport if you have to, or just touch on your route. So it's probably a pretty safe airplane to fly. No doubt about it. So put me down for Charlie down. Thanks, Brian. Interesting question.
Okay, Bob, real fine. K1BOB, WB5DRI. Well, we got you down for Charlie, Delta, Charlie. And let's keep it moving here. Let's go out to Alabama to KK6FJZ. Tom, out in Alabama. Good evening, Tom. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI, KK6FJZ.
Okay, Tom, there's a couple. There could be more than one that's correct on the first question there. Over. Okay, so you want Alpha and Delta on the first question then?
Yeah, first one is Delta, and the second one is Alpha.
Oh, okay. Delta on the first question and Alpha on the second question. Well, the answers are a matched pair, so you need to pick another letter on the second question, I guess. No, the first question was which of the following following aircraft that I listed there are certified to fly on 3 engines. And there's more than one that's correct on the first question. And then the second question is, which airline had an aircraft that flew on 3 engines for 5,000 miles after losing an engine out of JFK, about 200 miles southeast of Newfoundland? And the possible answers were those 4: Qantas, Korea Air, Singapore Airlines, and Emirates. Over. Okay, very good. Charlie and Delta on the first question and Alpha on the second one. Gotcha there, Tom. So let's keep it moving. Good to hear you tonight, Tom. Good signal. You're about 10 over 9 with me and sometimes stronger here in San Antonio. Sounding good. Break with you. Let's go to WX7 Lima Art out in Arizona there. I hope you're copying me okay there, Art, in New River. You're up, sir. WB5DRI. Okay, I think you turned it there, Art, so very good. I got your answers as Charlie, Delta, and Charlie, so we'll keep it moving. Good to hear you tonight, Art. Break with you. Let's go to James up in near Belton. KT5PTE. You're up, James. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI in the group, KG5PT, operating the Yaesu FT991 with the ALE amplifier at 400 watts. And I am on the Alpha Delta inverted V. Unfortunately, I can't use the hex beam on 40 meters, but inverted V does the job well. Brian, I'm going to go Charlie 7 and Delta. Charlie and Delta for the first answer, and I guess Charlie for the bonus answer, Singapore Airlines. So Charlie, Delta, Charlie. And everybody sounded good on the radio, and everybody sounded really good either locally and through the electric radio. And Cliff, if you're listening to W5PIX, I took a screenshot of Charlie's live stream, and I sent the question to your smartphone. So pull it up on your text, and you can see it. Back to net control. WB5DRI, KG5PT.
Okay, James, KT5PTE, WB5DRI. Well, you're sounding good here, James. I'm hearing you on the radio about 5.5, almost a 5.6. So I'm hearing you very, very well also on the SDRs. So good to hear you tonight, and we got you down for Charlie, Delta, and Charlie. And speaking of Charlie, he's up next. Let's go out to Cartersville, Georgia. Thanks, Charlie, for your live stream, and you're up, sir. K4YDB, WB5DRI.
WB5DRI, K4YDB. Well, thanks for that, Brian. I hope everybody's having a good evening out here. Right now, it is just 35 degrees out there. Not too bad. It's supposed to get down to about the high 20s, I think, 28 or something like that tonight. Then tomorrow it's get back up to about 45 is what they're saying. So I still got a lot of stuff I need to take care of. I did make it uptown today, and I had to get a new light for the bathroom. The LED things, they don't last very long for me, but anyway, I gotta keep replacing them. But of course, it's been in there for 5 years, so I guess it's all right. But not a lot else is going to go on over here. As far as the question goes, I just put me down for Charlie, Delta, and Charlie. It's the best I can come up with. Anyway, WB5DRI, K4YDB. I'm back to that.
Okay, Charlie, very good. K4YDB, WB5DRI. Well, we got you down for Charlie, Delta, and Charlie. So let's keep this thing moving here. Let's let's go to Tom out in Alabama. KA4YES. Good to have you in there with us tonight, Tom. You're up, sir. WB5DRI. Okay, Tom, very good. I got you down for Alpha on the first question and Delta on the second question. The first question actually has more than one answer that's correct. Did you want to pick another letter for the first question besides Alpha? Okay, Tom, very good. Alpha and Charlie and Delta on the second question. But the answers, one of the answers is matched between the first question and the second question. Over. Okay, real fine, Tom. Well, thank you for that. But good to hear you tonight. I got your answers down as Alpha and Charlie on the first one. You want to go with all the Boeing aircraft there, and Delta on the second question there. So very good. Let's keep this thing moving. I had KB7LAK in there next, Justin. He didn't get added to the list on NetLogger somehow. So, Justin, go ahead and take your turn. KB7LAK, WB5DRI. Good evening.
Okay, fine, business. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, just fine. Go ahead, Justin.
Okay, just making sure before I launch into big diatribe. Well, put me down for Charlie Delta Charlie, and then I'll tell a quick war story. We took off out of Diego Garcia in probably 2002 or 2003, and I can't believe how long ago that feels. Actually, it doesn't feel that long ago, but the numbers I don't like. And our left ear, Randy Gertchen, noticed an engine overtemp, and this was on the TF-33, so it was the older engine. We flew from Diego Garcia, which is about, 500 miles south of India, a little bit south of Dakota, all the way up to Afghanistan, and came back on 3 engines. And they were the old engines, but anybody else would have gotten in trouble, but Randy had probably 10 miles an hour in the 135. So nobody questioned the judgment. They asked every single one of us on the airplane. They said, if one of you says you don't feel safe, we'll turn you around. Not one person said we don't feel safe. I don't think we got anything up there that day, but it's just kind of a testament to the Boeing aircraft and to the Air Force pilots that 20 people on the airplane felt safe enough on 3 engines over Afghanistan. He started it back up and brought it in on 4 engines. But anyway, so Charlie Delta Charlie, and we'll see how it goes. Unfortunately, I have to listen on the SDR because it's just too much noise out there. Anyway, KB7LAK, back to you, Brian, WB5DRI.
Okay, Justin, very good. Well, you're solid on my radio tonight. It's a noisy band here on 40, but you're solid coming in here from Utah there. So good to hear you tonight. Got your answers there, Charlie, Delta, and Charlie. And very interesting about the 135 flight from Diego Garcia there. Yeah, I think the Boeing aircraft can fly on 3 engines if it has to. But like Bob was saying, I think it's pilot's discretion. But the question had to do with which of these type aircraft are certified to fly on 3 engines safely, I guess. But anyway, Boeing has some good aircraft, and I think in an emergency you could go ahead and fly them, the Boeing aircraft on just 3 engines. But I think most pilots would probably be trying to find a good airport to land at, depending on the situation, I guess, like Bob was saying. Anyway, let's keep it moving here. Good to have you in there with us tonight, Justin. Break with you. Let's go to John up in Kansas, K0VAC. Good evening, John. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI, K0VAC. Good to be here. Thanks very much for running the net tonight. That's a good question, which I don't know the answer to. But judging by what everybody's been saying, Boeing seems to be a pretty good choice. So I'm going to go with Charlie and Delta for the first part, and I'm going to go with Delta Emirates for the last part. We'll see how it goes from there. We got last week when I was on here, I told you about 16 inches of snow we got last week. This week we've got 14 inches of that still on the ground. So we're all frozen up, and it's a good radio night. 732, thanks very much. I'll wait for the answers. K0VAC, back to you.
Okay, John, very good. K0VAC, you got your answers. It's Charlie, Delta, and Delta. So very good, and we'll give you 73s, and I'll get the answer in just shortly here to you. So you don't have to stick around too much longer, but good to have you in there tonight with us. Break with you. Let's go to Steve out in Florida. KQ4HJN. Good evening, Steve. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
Okay, thanks, Brian. I'll go along with all the lemmings. We'll go Charlie, Delta, Charlie. If you'd listed a C-130, I would have added that in there because we even had a procedure to fly on 2 engines deliberately for loitering, but you didn't list that, and I'm not sure if the commercial would be the same. So we'll stick with the lemming as Charlie, Delta, Charlie, and that's all I got. So we'll send it back to you, Brian.
Okay, Steve, real fine. I did list the C-130 there. The Bravo answer is the Lockheed LM-100J Super Hercules. It is the civilian version of the C-130, over.
Roger, but you didn't say C-130, and I think there's a trick there, so I'm staying away from it.
Okay, real fine, Steve. We got you down for Charlie Delta on the first question and Charlie on the second question, so very good. We are at the bottom of the list here as I have it. Let me see if we have any additional check-ins to the Air Force or Flyers Club. Any lurkers or anybody out there that's listening that might want to check in before I give the answers here. This is WB5DRI. Please call now. Well, I'm not hearing any. I did hear some kind of a noise there that came on. I don't know if it's somebody tuning up on another close frequency close by or what. But let me go ahead and give the first aircraft to fly on 3 engines, or certified to fly on 3 engines shown here, was actually Bravo, the civilian equivalent of the Lockheed C-130 that I mentioned. The Lockheed LM-100J Super Hercules. It's an updated version of the L-100, and these particular aircraft went into production in 2019. And as most of us know, the C-130, I think everybody would agree, can easily fly on just one engine with its very powerful engine. The Boeing 707 was not really certified to fly on just 3 engines. In an emergency, I'm sure that the RC-135s or the KC-135s or the Boeing 707 could fly on just 3 engines to get to an airfield to land in an emergency. Again, that would be at the pilot's discretion. That was not one of the answers that I had. Actually, the Boeing aircraft I wasn't looking for here. I was looking for Bravo and Delta. The 747 is not certified to fly on just 3 engines, although, again, in an emergency, I'm sure that it could to get to the nearest airfield. The Airbus A380s, which many of you picked there for Delta on the first question, is the other answer I was looking for here. The A380 aircraft is certified to fly on 3 engines. Kind of interestingly, at least for ferry flight, meaning it can operate safely with only 3 engines functioning if necessary. 3 Echo Foxtrot Foxtrot without passengers, according to the certification. And crews do require extra training to support this certification. The 5,000-mile flight mentioned in the second question actually occurred in 2013 when an Emirates A380 lost its number 4 engine about an hour out of JFK. The aircraft was headed to Abu Dhabi out of JFK, and it ended up diverting to and landing at Kuwait International Airport, flying on 3 engines for those 5,000 miles. Of course, the aircraft flying on just 3 engines uses more fuel because the aircraft has to fly at a lower altitude and a little bit lower speed. And it's not known why the crew decided to press on. It's also not known how many passengers were on board, although I believe that there were passengers there. I find it hard to believe that an aircraft out of JFK going to Abu Dhabi didn't have any passengers on board. But anyway, I found this kind of an interesting situation. It was an Emirates aircraft, an Emirates Airbus A380. And the maintenance personnel that worked on this aircraft discovered that 2 of the fuel pumps in the Alliance UC-7000 engine had failed. And once they replaced those fuel pumps, the aircraft was signed off, and after they were replaced. So then the aircraft was good to go again. But the answers here were Bravo, Delta on the first question, and Delta Emirates Airlines on the second question. So that was the LM-100J Bravo and Delta, the Airbus A380. And then on the second question, Delta, the Emirates Airlines. So those are my questions tonight. Hope everybody enjoyed those questions. Kind of different. Thought it was kind of an interesting predicament for a pilot. I'm not sure why they pressed on either when they could have turned around very easily and landed on the East Coast or almost anywhere without a problem on those 3 engines, but they decided to press on and go all the way and ended up in Kuwait International Airport instead of flying all the way to Abu Dhabi. Anyway, let's go back to our quick 73 round if we can here. Let's see. Let's go back to the top. Paul, if you're still in there, N5NIR. You're up for the 73 round, Paul. WB5DRI. Well, Paul usually has another net or something he has to go to, so I think he may have left. And John's gone. Let's see if Cliff is still around. W5PIX, Cliff, you're up, sir. WB5DRI. Well, I'm not hearing Cliff now. He must be busy. Let's try Mike, WW5ENZ. Thanks for all your help tonight, Mike. You're up. WB5DRI.
Okay, WB5DRI. Great help tonight. Did a good job there. Yeah, we had some conditions. I could hear about half everybody locally. And, I don't have the computer on tonight, so I'm sorry I didn't get everybody's answers just right. But anyway, I think you wrote them down also. Anyway, WB5DRI and everybody else, everything is
Okay, good evening to you, Mike, and thanks for your help tonight with NetLogger. I do appreciate it, and you're still booming into San Antonio tonight, still up above the 9 mark there. So 73s and break with WW5ENZ, and we'll give you a 73s, and I know my brother is checked out, so we'll give him a 73s, and let's go to the commander, K1BOB, Bob. You're up for the 73 round, Bob, WB5DRI.
And excellent. Anyway, nothing else here. I'm going to shut down the shack here and head up there. And everyone have a good evening. Good to see everybody out there. Good group tonight, Brian. Well done, sir. This is K1BOB. Thanking Charlie for doing the YouTube live stream there, and Mike for maintaining NetLogger. Anyway, this is K1BOB. Back to WB5DRI, 73 all.
Okay, Bob, 73 to you. Have a good evening, and we'll talk to you the next time. Good to hear you tonight, though. Break with K1BOB. Let's try Tom again out in Alabama. KK6 FJZ. Tom, you're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI. Okay, Tom. Well, you're still blasting in here from Alabama tonight. Beautiful signal up over the 9 mark. So sounding very, very good this evening. And you have a very good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight. Break with KK6FJZ. Let's try Art out in New River, Arizona again. WX7 Lima Lima. Art, you're up for the 73 round. WB5DRI. Okay, Art, great story there. Yeah, he probably had a hot date there in Eielson, I guess, so he had to get back, so he pressed on when he probably should have turned around and gone back to Yokota. Anyway, I'm glad he made it. Thanks for that story, Art. Break with WX7 Lima Lima. Great story, Art. Let's go to James up in Belton again. KG5PTE, WB5DRI.
Hi, Brian. WB5DRI, KG5PT. I'm glad y'all ran the net on 7213, which is our local hangout channel here on 40 meters during the day. So I'm surprised there wasn't other people check in, but it's maybe kind of late, so we'll see maybe next time. But thanks for running it, Brian. Good signal here. And 7-3 saw the flyers, and I'll catch y'all in the morning on the 20-meter net. And I'm going to go QRT, Kilo Golf 5 Papa Tango Echo, going that way, 7-3.
Okay, James, well, 73 to you. Have a very good evening there in Belton, and we'll talk to you the next time. Break with KG5PTE. Let's go to Charlie out in Cartersville. K4YDB. Thanks for your help with the YouTube live stream there, Charlie. As always, great live stream. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI K4YDB. Well, thanks, Brian. I enjoy doing it. Your signal is held up quite nicely throughout the whole net. You fade a little bit occasionally, but so far I actually heard everybody this evening except for Tom and Arthur. I didn't hear Art either, so Tom and Art were the only two I did not hear at all. Anyway, 73s, everybody. Everybody have a good evening, and we will try this again tomorrow. K4YDB, back to net.
Okay, Charlie, very good. You're still a solid S9 with me here tonight. So good signal, good to hear you, and thanks again for all your help. Break with K4YDB. Let's go back to another Alabama station, to Tom, KA4YES. Tom, you're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI. Well, Tom, you kind of dropped out with me there. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but good to have you in there with us tonight. And 73 is the answer. And good to hear you this evening from out in Alabama. Break with KA4YES. Let's see if Justin might still be around. KB7LAK. Justin, you're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI.
Okay, 5 business, Brian. Thanks for calling me up. I won't even be able to listen, but anybody have anybody weekend and looking forward to the inauguration day on the
Yeah, me too, Justin. I'm glad it's finally here. I've been anxious for it to arrive for about 2 weeks, or almost even longer, for sure. So it'll be nice for the 20th to roll around for sure there, Justin. But good to hear you tonight. 73 to you. Let's see if K0VAC might still be in there with us. John, are you still around? If so, you're up, and you've got probably more answers correct than anybody, I think, because you had the Airbus A380 on the first one and the Emirates on the second one there, so very, very good on that. You're up for the 73 round, John. K0VAC, WB5DRI.
WB5DRI, K0VAC. Yep, we got a good signal into Kansas tonight, and thanks very much for that question. And pretty good guess, I think. I did live in Australia for a year and in New Zealand for 10 years, so I know how far away that is. And it physically seemed like that they could fly out of 9,000 miles. Well, I know it's over 9,000 miles to get to Australia, so it could not be Qantas, and it could not be any place over that way. Korea, Singapore, those are all 9,000 miles away. So Emirates had to be the right answer. The other ones were just a guess. Hey, it was a nice fun time. Thank you very much for letting me in here. Always a pleasure to be here. And I always got nice stories to tell my friends after I'm done with the net here. K0VAC, back to net. We'll see you.
Okay, John, well, good analysis on your part on the airlines there for sure. But very good on that, 73s, and good to have you in there with us tonight. Break with K0BAC, 73s to you. Let's go to Steve out in Florida there. King Queen 4, HJN. Steve, you're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI.
Thank you, Brian. You kind of tricked me there because I did a quick search and I found that the C-130 was certified, but it said the commercial one was not. So you tricked me on that. But anyhow, it's about high 40s here, which is getting cold. So it's a good question. Enjoyed it all, and we'll say 73s. And is anybody going to Echo Link afterwards?
I'm not sure. I can go over there for a short period of time there, for sure, Steve. But I didn't mean to trick you on the question there, but I was kind of thinking of the C-130 as pretty much the same as the LM-100J Super Hercules there. I think the capabilities are very, very close on those two aircraft, the military version versus the civilian version. So, but anyway, very good on all that. And I should be over there on Echo Link for a few minutes. If anybody would like to join us over there, we have a conference note on Echo Link. It's AFFC. All stations are welcome to join us over there for a round or two. And we'll finish up the net over there. But we're done here pretty much. So 73s to all stations. Thanks for all the participants tonight and all the relays. The help with NetLogger from WA6LJS and WW5ENZ. And also thanks to K4YDB for the live stream on YouTube. And thanks for everybody being here tonight. Enjoyed it. So I'll say 73s, and let me stand by for any last final check-ins from any stations that I might have missed or that might want to get on the net here before we close out the 40-meter session here. This is WB5DRI with the Air Force's Flyers Club net. Please call now. Okay, Tom, K4YES, WB5DRI. Well, thank you for that in 73s, and have a very good evening there, Tom. Good to hear you tonight. Good to have you in there with us tonight. You guys are what make this net, basically, all the members and all the guests and everybody participating in the net. So I'll go ahead and shut this thing down, and we'll switch over to our conference node, AFFC, on Echo Link. And I'll say 73s to all stations, and thanks for joining us tonight. God bless our troops, and God bless the USA. This is WB5DRI Net Control, now closing the Air Force's Flyers Club net and returning the frequency to normal amateur use. Good evening, everybody.